Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss Gerard Manley Hopkins' poem God's Grandeur. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. G.M. Hopkins was a Jesuit priest and English poet of the Victorian era. His poetry is known for the innovative use of language, like the sprung rhythm and intricate, vivid images that he would make use of. His works were not widely known during his lifetime, and it was only after his death that his unique style of writing was recognized in the world of poetry. Now, to understand the background of the poem is very important because this was written during the 19th century, and it is at this time that new and big industries were coming up. There was a divide between rural and urban areas. More people were moving from villages, that is the rural areas, to the urban areas in search for better jobs. And Hopkins, a devout Catholic, wrote this poem as a response to the environmental and spiritual changes that were happening due to the Industrial Revolution. The poem reflects his concerns about the impact of human activities on the natural world. Naturally, because these industries that are being set up would have largely impacted the industries, and we can see it till today. And his belief that ultimately it is God and God's creation that should be valued. But what were human beings doing? They were valuing new and innovative industries that had started coming up at that time. Through this poem, the poet wants to show that it is God who is important, and we need to value the creation of God. As human beings, we should not neglect or exploit God's creation. It explores the tension between the destructive actions of humanity and the eternal beauty and vitality of nature, which Hopkins believed was due to the presence of God in all our lives. And that brings me also to discussing the title of the poem, God's Grandeur. Grand means to be something which is great, magnificent, and Hopkins believed in the power of the natural world, which sets the tone for exploring God's enduring presence in the face of human actions. Even when, no matter how much we try to control, there are many things which are beyond our control. We ultimately turn to God in times of trouble, and that is exactly what Hopkins also wanted to highlight. Now let us discuss the line-by-line meaning of stanza 1 of the poem. The world is charged with the grandeur of God. It will flame out like shining from shook foil. So here the poet begins by asserting that the world is full of the magnificent energy of God. This energy of God is described as something that will burst out. It will be brilliant when it is produced. Everything around is going to shake. It gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil crushed. So the divine presence accumulates, collects, and grows into something great, which is similar to oil spreading when you crush a container containing oil. Why do men then now not wreck his rod? That is, the poet questions that why do people not pay attention to the divine authority of the rod of God? That is, when you do something wrong, God punishes you. So that is when you need to realize that it is the divine authority at work in your lives, and you need to value God. Generations have trod, and all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil. That is, despite the continuous existence of generations of people, there seems to be a disregard for God's authority. Not one particular generation has ever tried to trust in God completely. There are people who still have a disbelief towards God. The negative impact of human activities, particularly of trade and hard work, has ultimately stained the natural world. We are doing everything that we are even today when we are doing it at the cost of the natural world. The rivers are being polluted, there's global warming, climate change, and whatnot. And where man's smudge and shares man's smell, the soil, that is, He's saying that the earth is now marked by human pollution and exploitation to the extent that it has lost its naturalness, its natural vitality. And we all sometimes turn towards nature. We go towards the hills and the mountains when we need a break from life. Why? Because over there is still less exploration. Still those places are preserved in its natural state, because the cities today have almost become inhabitable. You can see the condition of Delhi, Bombay, the way they get polluted in winters. In stanza 2, he says, "And for all this, nature is never spent. Their lives the dearest freshness deep down things." That is, despite this degradation that is being caused by human actions, nature remains strong and resilient. It never gets exhausted of its energy and vitality. You will still see the elements of nature. They might be struggling, yes, especially the sparrows, which are nearly extinct, and all the other animals, the wildlife, the plants which are becoming extinct, but they are not completely dying. Nature still continues with its course of life. The core essence of nature remains as it is. It continues to provide freshness despite the surface level damage that is being caused because of human actions. And though the last lights of the black west went, O morning at the brown brink eastward springs. So the poet here envisions a renewal in the east as morning breaks, symbolizing that there is hope for regeneration. You need to now direct your actions towards performing your human actions, yes, but also continuing to preserve nature. He says, because the Holy Ghost over the bent world broods with warm breast and with our bright wings. So the poem concludes by expressing the belief that the Holy Ghost, which is a representation of God's Spirit, is hovering about the world, providing warmth and protection to its people, even though its condition today is damaged. It's in a damaged state, but it is still trying to provide respite to human beings. So as human beings, it is our duty also to believe in God and to preserve God's creation, that is the natural world. We can understand the themes of the poem on 3 levels, that is, the presence of God, man versus nature, and resilience of nature. Let's discuss it in details. The poem explores the idea that despite neglect and exploitation of human beings, God's presence, God's grandeur, God's greatness continues to live on forever in the natural world. Secondly, Hopkins in this poem highlights the bad ill effects of industrialization and human activities on the environment. We are cutting down trees, there's pollution, waste is being let out in the environment. What is all this ultimately leading to? It is leading to the loss of natural beauty and vitality. Why is the government having to spend lakhs and lakhs of money? You see, they are specially having to put in effort for beautification of a park, cleaning of a river. Why should it not be let to remain as it is? Because human beings over time did not realize the importance of natural elements, and they kept littering and polluting these elements of nature over time. But no matter what you do with nature, nature is still strong. The poem suggests that despite the damage that you constantly do to nature, it possesses a kind of power that tries to recover, to heal itself. So you can understand that when we are sad, or we need a break, we go and take a walk in the park, or we go and take a break in amidst nature, we spend time. So nature heals us. But have you ever thought nature is doing a double role? It is not just healing us, it is also healing itself first from the damage that has been caused by human beings. So you can understand how freshness remains untouched at the core of nature, and it continues to cleanse itself as always, and also the world around. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.